guys, welcome back to video 3, Emoto Bros. If you haven't watched 1 and 2 already, please go check them out. We unboxed this thing, we assembled it, we drag raced it, we jumped it, but now it's time to get into some upgrades. So before we begin, this video, by the way, is going to be about these amazing made in Italy custom billet Emoto style brakes. But before we get into that, we're going to just go over some basic mods we did to the bike. First of all, you know, we did bag on the tires pretty much the last 2 videos, but we upgraded them. So we got some beefy Golden Boy, they're called the Golden Boy apparently, but Shinko 244s. They're like the 241s, but they're more aggressive for off-roading. Number 2, we got the gut seat cover. Ryan made the decision of the color, so I gotta say that looks really great. Number 3, we went ahead and got some white Pro Taper grips that are already dirty, you know. What can you do? As well as some pillows. And, you know, to protect these amazing brakes, we went ahead and got some also Italian Acerbis handguards. So that really will protect it. We're going to go over these brakes here. They're called Volar Sport. Everything is metal here. There's no plastic, you know, like the Magura MT5. And these really are a necessary upgrade for these Emotos. You know, year after year, they're getting faster. They're getting heavier. We need these moto style full metal brakes instead of these MTB brakes. So as you can see, it has this little adjusting pin. You can adjust the stiffness. And if you want to look down here, so this is the whole kit, by the way. It comes with the master cylinder and the levers, the line, the front and rear rotor, and the front and rear calipers. These are also full billet right here. See, beautiful, and they are massive. Later in the video, we're going to get into a little bit of a size comparison during the installation, but they are 4-piston. Also has these custom billet brackets. The line now is a banjo line, braided here. Front rotor is 250 millimeter floating. The rear over here is 220 millimeter floating. So the kit does retail for about $850 to $900. That does sound expensive, but if you take into consideration a pair of TRPs, just the caliper, line, and lever with no discs is already $300–400. You have these massive oversized calipers, front and rear rotors, and the levers, all for $900. I can't think of a better system really for a super fast and heavy Emoto like this. Next, we're going to be getting into the installation, and after that, we're going to do some riding clips and reviews.
Today we have some new brakes for the Eride. We're going to be installing them on this bike today. The brand is?
They're called Volar Sport. Brand new company. Really nice guy is the owner, and his name's Alessandro. These are just really amazing brakes. You see Volar Sport. You have this custom billet bracket. Look at that, it's beautiful. And then you get these giant monster calipers. So here we go. So on the left here, this is an old Magura MT5 we had laying around, but look at the sheer size of these new Volar Sports. But you know, the whole idea is that these things are basically Emoto, so you gotta have real moto brakes. I did install the rotors beforehand, but essentially if you want to order this kit for your Eride Pro, it uses the Sur-On style brake setup. So this is Sur-On style right here. So if you do want to get a braking system for your Eride Pro, go ahead and order a Sur-On kit for it. We're gonna do some comparisons here. To start off, here's the stock lever, Eride Pro, and here is the new lever. Look at that. Completely billet, machined. Let's move on to the calipers. So you can see the absolute size difference of these things. This is a Magura MT5, an extra one we had from the Talaria Sting. Really good brake, you know, pretty common aftermarket modification for these Emotos. But as you see, the Volar Sport just dwarfs it. You can even see the size of the pads right there. Here is the difference of the brake line size. Just dwarfs it. As you guys can see, the Eride Pro SS is in shambles right now. I basically had to take it apart to take off the rear brake. But if you are planning to put on the rear brake, you have to drop this motor bash guard. You have to take out the battery tray. And to take out the battery tray, you have to also take out this plastic shield here, which was in the shock area. So just 4 screws, and then that lifts the battery tray up, and then now you can reach the brake line will come up through here. We're gonna be installing the lever for the rear. We're gonna work on the rear first, just so we can get everything sort of, you know, put together, and then the bike will be balanced on the stand. Don't wanna over tighten it. So we got the lever for the rear pretty much installed. Now we're gonna be installing the rear wheel first with all the spacers and everything. And then the brake on top, the brake caliper on top, as per the instruction says. And then after all that, the line's last. We just about got the rear wheel mounted up. I just want to show you something. So, make it nice and tight. So we already have the chain tension and everything. I want to show you the space here of this rear bolt and the bracket. As you can see, luckily, Volar Sport, they did machine out a tiny space there, so the bolt just barely passes through, as you can see that. Super close spacing, but it does. We also did replace the rear bolts because originally they came with these flat, you know, sort of T-star bolts, and they were way over tightened. So they were just kept stripping tools, and I even stripped 1 or 2 screws. So we did get these replacement Allens. As you can see, the spacing on that is super close, but everything spins freely. So now we're gonna go on to install the rear caliper and then the brake line. Just about have the rear caliper mounted up now. They did include 2 washer spacers, 1.5 millimeter thickness on each side, so you want to put that under the bracket. But yeah, we're about tightening it up about now. Made sure it's not even rubbing at all. Let's double check. Nice and smooth. Just, man, I just want to take a step back and look at it. It's just so, that is just so beautiful. With the combination we have on this bike with the white and the black. We got the brake caliper mounted and the cable running through the back, through the body. This kit does include 2 O-rings, so you're gonna put 1 on the bottom, 1 on the top, and it does have a banjo style connection for the oil. That looks really clean right there. Here's a wire clip right here, and then you see it runs under the battery tray, through here, and up through here, and right up to the master cylinder. And then once everything's done and finished, we are going to be running some nice cable management. It's going to go like that. So now we're going to move on to the front. We just got this front lever installed. It's looking good. We lined it up real nice. A couple things, we did button up the back of the bike here. Couple things to note, these are actually wide enough, you know, to fit the wire, so that's really nice. It looks really nice and clean. Other than that, one minor thing is if you look in here, the belt is right here. So you have to make sure to put a zip tie right here, block it onto the, I think the same goes for a Sur-Ron because the belt is so close to the brake wire, but you want to just zip tie it to the bottom of the battery tray right there. Now we're gonna move on to putting on the front wheel, front brake, front caliper, everything. I have the front wheel mounted up now with these amazing Golden Boy 244s. The Volar Sport 250 millimeter front floating disc. Now we're going to be installing the front bracket and the front caliper. All right, guys. So we're out here now on the Eride Pro SS. Volar Sport brakes installed. Just a little quick wheelie for you. Now these brakes, huge difference. Now there isn't much throw to them, but they are super precise, super powerful. You could just feel the difference between, you know, these real moto style brakes and some regular MTB brakes. These are really the brakes that this thing should come with from factory. But thank you for Volar Sport for creating a system like this. These heavy, fast e-bikes, e-motos really needed a system like this. Now the stock brakes were already good. Honestly, much better than any of the brakes Sur-Rons or Volars are putting out right now. But you know, those the Eride Pro, the stock brakes, they're just really like mountain bike brakes. You know? all the other ones, throughout the market, they have made some really great competitors, I see some really good stuff made by Lewis. Hope Techs are really great, but they just pale in comparison to these moto style brakes. This kit is fully plug and play. Didn't have to mess with any wiring or anything, except if you do want to add brake sensors, you do have to solder. They do make you solder the stock line with the sensors that this thing comes with, but my brother doesn't even use sensors anyways because he says he likes to brake tap and stuff like that. So we opted out of the sensors, but these things fit amazing, they feel amazing. These just stop on a dime. We're gonna try to stop here. Yeah, look at that. I do have some news about our Sting R. Unfortunately, we did end up selling it a few weeks ago. It's really too bad we couldn't make a video about it before we did. But there was higher in mileage, and it was just time. We had our fun with it. We are looking to get something bigger, and better, and faster. So that'll come in the future. But for right now, we just got this Eride Pro setup and the XXX setup. Even if you have something heavier like an Ultra V, I would highly recommend these brakes still. They are just, honestly, the brakes are overkill for this type of bike, I have to say. These are just a monster. Anything below 20 wants to pick up. Huh? Good luck. That dude's on a death wish. Street tires on the dirt. That's crazy. But yeah, super exciting stuff coming for that bike. I will just say it's gonna be we are gonna be making it the ultimate mini supermoto. So that's all I can tell you right now. But we did sell the Sting R, and we didn't make any video about it for you guys. I will, go through a short comparison, summary about the bike and what I thought about it. Overall, I really loved it. We got it secondhand with only like 100 or 200 miles. We got it for like 4,200. It did come with a 16-inch flow wheel on the back. Everything else was stock though. We put basically, if you guys watch the previous videos, you can see we changed it to the 17-inch flow wheel. We went ahead and added a seat cover, grips, hand guards, everything like that. We added a Shinko 241 on the front, and overall I really loved that bike. I was inspired by the Batmobile. That was like kind of the style I was going for, so I got that. I bought a Baja S2 Sport with the yellow lens on it with the kill switch from Grid Shift, and I have to say, my opinion is it is the best overall bike you can get considering everything, right? Obviously this bike is way faster, but for some reason, number one, the frame doesn't feel as solid as it did on the Sting R. This thing is really fast, but the suspension on the Talaria Sting R for some reason just outperformed this in every level. It felt really planted, that bike. And yes, it's heavier, but that's because they added a bunch of reinforcement to the chassis. So naturally that bike is gonna be 20 pounds heavier than this, but it felt really planted. It had the best suspension out of the box. Of course you can say, oh, you can get a Sauron with the EXT, whatever suspension, but you're paying $1,500 extra or whatever on top. That suspension came with that bike stock. Even the 4 could hold 150 PSI, which was a lot. But yeah, you can probably pick up a slightly used, good condition MX4 for around 33 grand to 3,500. The bike still goes 53 mile per hour with, the light enough rider on it. It has the best suspension out of all the bikes right now, out of the factory. And it also has, of course, the gearbox, which is really what separates the Sting from all the other bikes. But the gearbox, that thing will outlast the bike itself. You can throw any power at it, it'll handle it. And the only maintenance you have to do on the Sting R really is an oil change every 3,000 miles. So, you know, you grab a Sting R for 3,500, 72 volted for like 3 grand, that's 6,500. Now that is more than this bike, but you're gonna get a pretty much bulletproof 80 mile per hour, super solid feeling Emoto. So that's just my 2 cents about the Sting R. Now, you know, if you're not from Irvine, I'll just tell you, it is a really beautiful master plan city. It has some of the best trails around, but one unfortunate thing about this place is it has some of the most bored police officers. For people like us, that is not a good thing. You saw we just passed one. Luckily, he was chill. He didn't give us any problems. Meanwhile, my brother literally wheelied right in front of him. Wheelied right in front of a cop. Right now we're heading to this trail called Quail Loop Trail. It's like sort of like a North Irvine area. It's really cool trail because it's half on-road, half off-road, so you can decide, you know, what you want to ride. And on the off-road section, there are jumps. So we're heading there now. And that's not even turbo mode. Oh my God. Tires feel great. Gotta say, the sheet wheels are doing the job. Oh God, how's my brother doing on the Supermotos? Oh, he's all right. He's right there. Turbo's got some kick. Turbo mode noticeably has, you know, I think probably 20% more power. Now, unfortunately, I know from your guys' comments in the last video, if we did hold out for the later gen, they removed the turbo button completely, and they just make it, you know, you can hit 60 miles per hour whenever you want. That is a pretty nice improvement. Honestly though, in my preference, I think already as is in sport mode, there's already enough power, or actually too much power to, you know, wheelie and be able to control it really well. So I like having I like having a turbo mode essentially because, you know, I get to save some battery, some range. I am able to control the wheelies a little better. And yeah, you know, it's kind of like a cool little party trick. You got a turbo mode, you know, if you want to race another bike or something, or you need it. I'm gonna do a little mini pull in sport mode. And I'm gonna do a little mini pull in turbo mode, just so you guys can see the difference. All right, so here's a little sport mode. I'm gonna start at about 15 and end at, you know, like 35, so you guys can time that. Oh, there he goes. There's sport mode. Now turbo mode, 15 miles per hour. Oh, there he goes. So I think that automatic wheelie already shows the difference in power between turbo and sport. It is noticeable now. It is definitely noticeable. Here we are coming up on the trail. This is the same trail we did film the last video in. You know, that nice trail with the sunset in the back and the golf course. So this is the same trail. You guys are just getting a POV now. Yeah, this thing is cruising. I rode through this trail a little while ago with the stock tires, and man, I was sweating. It was slipping and it just did not handle well at all. But with these new Shinko 244s, huge upgrade. Now we're gonna hit some jumps here. Okay, not bad. Are you going on the dirt? You're brave. Take the high route. You guys can see some scenic views here. See Eride Pro in all its glory. Now this thing out of the box was already one of, probably I think, you know, one of the best bikes you can buy. Definitely the fastest. But now with some simple mods, you know, the brakes, the tires. This thing is an absolute unit. You put a little GoPro sticker here. It's pretty cool looking. Let's keep moving. But yeah, I just wanted to apologize and say, you know, we just didn't have the time, you know, to make a video with the Sting R before we sold it. Take it easy here around the people. Let's get a little wiggly right here. Oh. No?
I swear I heard things screaming.
Really?
Yeah.
No?
This handle's not bad on dirt.
Really? Dude, you got a death wish.
I'm not whipping the dirt, though.
Well, let's keep it going. Getting a little chilly, but we're vibing, you know, it's SoCal weather. I go up to school in San Francisco, and I do have a big bike up there. I have well, not really a big bike. It's a real motorcycle, but it is a smaller displacement. It's a 2023 RC390 KTM, the orange and black one, and that thing is sexy, but it is just so cold up there. I never have time to ride, so. Wow, my brother really is hitting dirt with the Triple X. That's actually wild. Oh, now I kind of wish I was running the front fender. It's getting all up in my face, but take this outside line. Coming up near the end of the trail. Yeah. This part's got some nice little jumps here. So much more confident with those 244s, I have to say. So much more confident. Ooh, that was a rough one. Wheelie with no light is absolutely wild. And this absolute genius right here wanted to run no front or rear light on the Triple X. Huh? Let's see the pop-up technique. Go in front of me. Pop-up technique. Never heard of that. Never heard of that when you're 72 volt. Oh, it's getting cold. Brakes are fantastic. Honestly, the best brakes I've ever felt, I have to say. Of course, you know, the only thing better I can think of is my real KTM bike, but those are like Fibery brakes, you know? That's a name brand right there. Bro thinks he's Batman. Look at that, that's my hand right there. That's how big they are, 250 millimeter. And on the rear, 220 millimeter right there. Look how good that little XXX looks. I even took off the little mini fender on top of the tire there. But the red and the black seat cover looks amazing. I'm not gonna show you guys too much because that's another video coming, but let's go. Now, let's see if my brother's crazy enough to go this way. Oh shoot, I couldn't get on camera. It's like literally almost 45 degrees. Like, I don't know how he does it. I had a pretty bad crash on our first MX-3 we had a while ago, and I did break my right collarbone. So ever since that, you know, my confidence has just never been the same. There's the hill, by the way, guys. Insane. Total Batman vibes right there. I feel like I'm blasting through Gotham City or something. I do miss my Sting R, man. That thing was just so badass, and with that 100 wide rear tire, it made this really mean, like, rumbling sound. All right, we're gonna run it one more time here. We're gonna run it one more time. Go about 5 to 10, and I'm gonna give him the hit as well, and I'll give him one bike, so you guys can see the whole race essentially. All right, so on his go. Oh, we're both quad, turbo. There we go, that's what I'm talking about. So, interesting. Sport mode with a 220, 230 pound rider and a XXX with weight reduction and everything. 150 pound rider. Pretty close. So honestly, I think him on this Sting R would have put up a better fight. Maybe this thing got a little slower. Maybe definitely the tires. Tires are like twice the weight than the stock ones, and they are a wider footprint. I can't think of anything else really. That's really interesting. Just do a little quick flyby. Wanting to go down because I'm leaning forward too much, I think. Let me try throwing my head back. Shout out to Sriracha for the tips. There you go. All right, that was better. So I lean back a little bit more there. We're gonna go real quick. There's a nice little car wash, self car wash, you know, coin operated, whatever, near the house here. So we're gonna go spray down the bikes, make them look all clean, and then head home, and that's it. You're right, hit a wheelie, dude. This is a clip with the lights. Hit a wheelie. This is a clip right here. Hey! Not bad, not bad. That was smooth. Overall, these brakes, complete game changer. I can't imagine anyone going and spending, you know, $600-700 on a set of Lewis brakes, and doesn't even include any rotors. Just go and get these. Completely different level than, you know, even the best MTB brakes out there. Couple things to note: since these are real moto brakes, they actually use real moto fluid. So you have the option of using .4 or 5.1. We opted for the 5.1 higher grade, you know, much higher boiling point and temperature point than mineral oil. And of course Motul, you know, because why not? And then one more thing to mention, when you do get the kit, these are the bleeding screws right here. They're not covered. So when they do come brand new, they're not covered. We just went ahead and picked up a pack of these on Amazon for like $5, stuck them on right there. That looks really professional. But thanks for watching, guys. In the next video, we're gonna be covering XXX and some really cool mods we got coming for that. So thanks for watching, guys.